Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Let's go and take a look at what I'm planning to read in June. So you might have picked it up in a couple of my recent videos that I'm not having the greatest of times lately in terms of my reading. There's various outside influences that I'm not going to bore you with here, but the upshot is I've not been reading as much in the last couple of months, and I've not been having those stellar reads. I'm yet to find a 5-star read this year. There's no pressure on that. It will come when it comes, but June is my birthday month and I'd really like a 5-star read before my birthday, please, and thank you very much. So this month I've got no buddy reads, I've got no arcs that require me to read a specific book at a specific time or before a particular date, so I'm completely free, and I've chosen 4 books because my reading time is still a little bit limited. I've got 1 patron pick and 3 that I've selected from my 2024 reading plan because those are all books that I've been really looking forward to. So fingers crossed there's going to be at least one winner out of this little selection. Let's go and see what we've got. So I'm going to start off with a patron pick. This is one that's been on my TBR for a long time actually. It's one of the longest standing ones. It's been recommended to me on and off for a good few years now, and I've just never had the time, the opportunity to pick it up. So I'm thankful to my friend Terry who's picked this one out to read. It's The Rage of Dragons, Book 1 of the Burning by Evan Winter. I don't really know too much about this. I literally just read the synopsis on Goodreads a few minutes before sitting down to film, and I'm sure I must have read it previously, but I couldn't remember a single thing about it, so let's have another look. The Omehi people have been fighting an unwinnable fight for almost 200 years. Their society is built around war and only war. The lucky ones are born gifted. 1 in every 2,000 women has the power to call down dragons. 1 in every 100 men is able to magically transform himself into a bigger, stronger, faster killing machine. Everyone else is fodder, destined to fight and die in an endless war. Young, giftless Town knows all this, but he has a plan of escape. He's going to get himself injured, get out early, and settle down to marriage, children, and land. Only he doesn't get that chance. Those closest to him are brutally murdered, and his grief swiftly turns to anger. Fixated on rage, Tao dedicates himself to an unthinkable path. He'll become the greatest swordsman to ever live, a man willing to die 100,000 times for the chance to kill the 3 who betrayed him. So a story of rage, a story of betrayal, and presumably a story of revenge. As I say, I've heard lots of people talking about this over the years, but I've just never had the opportunity to pick it up myself. I'm hopeful that I'm going to like this. I've heard really good things. I've heard a few bad things as well, and you get that as soon as you get enough people reading a title. So stay tuned to see what my thoughts on it are. So then, as I say, I've picked 3 books off my reading plan for 2024. I'm going to do probably 2 audio and 2 physical reads out of the 4 that I've set myself this month. And then, as usual, if I do manage to get through all of those, or if I have time through other means, i.e. DNFs, by the end of the month, then I'll go into my TBR jar and pick something else to take me through the rest of the month. So we'll see how that goes. But I've not read a sci-fi for a couple of months, so one of the picks that I decided to go with from the 2024 plan is No Fat Gloss by Essa Hansen. Again, this is one that I've had on my shelf now for a couple of years, and the time has just never been there, so it's a good place for me to be able to pick up books that I've been looking to get to for quite a while now and just haven't. So hopefully this one's going to be good. Again, I've heard some really good things about it, so fingers crossed. Caden's planet is destroyed, his family gone. His only hope for survival is a crew of misfit aliens and a mysterious ship that seems to have a soul and a universe of its own. Together they'll show him that the universe is much bigger and much more advanced than Caden ever imagined. And together they will seek revenge on the slavers who murdered his people. Enter a universe of daring space battles and impossible technology where planets can be destroyed in the blink of an eye, and where the galaxy's most valuable substance, No Fat Gloss, is in the hands of one young man who will tear it all down. So there's a few similar themes in here. I recently watched Titan AE with my daughter. She really enjoyed it, and there's some parallels in here to that by the sounds of it. But yeah, as I say, some really good things that I've heard about this one. I do like a good sci-fi with some epic space battles, so from the synopsis here, that's hopefully going to deliver for me. Then I've picked up Petition by Delilah 1, and now this one, as well as being one that I've been looking forward to read since I purchased it based on the cover and the synopsis, I really enjoy having the author in my Discord. Every so often she pops up with some really considered and well thought out and informative answers to questions, and I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing how that translates to her writing style for fiction as well. This one I don't really know too much about because par for the course for me. I read the synopsis when I decided to add it to my list and have promptly forgot about it. It's book 1 of the Resonance Crystal Legacy, and straight away I'm not going to read the little tagline at the back of it because there's a long alien word that I'm going to absolutely butcher. So we'll head straight into the synopsis instead. Failure is an option Rahelu can't afford. Her family sold everything, left their ancestral home and became destitute foreigners for the sake of her resonance skills. Now she can manipulate emotional echoes to discern truth from lies, conjure the past and even foretell the future. But an act of petty revenge by her rival destroys her chance at joining one of the great houses. Desperate to prove her family's sacrifices were not in vain, Rahelu calls upon the most dangerous magic of all, altering fortune. A slight twist of fate is enough to restore her way forward, with deadly consequences she never bargained for. The houses make a pawn of her in their bitter struggle for control of the Dominion. A shadowy cult grows ever closer to completing an ancient ritual, and Rahelu discovers that fulfilling her oath to her family might come at the cost of her mother's life. So 3 books down, and they're all focusing on at least a variation of the revenge theme. So let's see what that brings for me, and hopefully at least one of these will be a good revenge story for me. And then the last one that I've picked from my reading plan for the year to go into my June TBR is the chunkiest of the lot. It's Curse of the Mistwraith by Janny Wirtz. Now this one, I'm probably, partly because of the length, I'm probably going to go for the audio, but that does have its downsides because this hasn't been available until recently as an audiobook. So at the moment the series has just been finished at book 11 and there's only books 1, 10 and 11, as far as I'm aware, available on audio. So I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it, but I might have to read the rest of the series, at least until I get to the end, if I'm going to continue it. So we'll see how that goes anyway. Let's have a look what this one's about, because I actually do not know. I cannot remember ever reading the synopsis of this one. I'm going based on purely what I've heard from other people more than anything for this one. So let's go and have a look. This synopsis is quite long, so I might not read all of it. We will see. It began with a mistwraith that smothered the world in fog and dampness, and followed with a war that upended order and overthrew the rule of the High Kings. After 5 long centuries, animosity still runs deep, and even the memory of sunlight has been forgotten in the land of Ethera. Only the words of a drunken seer offer hope that the Mistwraith might be defeated. That train of hatreds and ills it has inflicted across Ethera might one day be set to rights. The mad prophet Dakar's augury foretold that a gifted descendant of the old kings would arrive through the gate between worlds, bringing back the means to heal the lands. But upon the prophecy's fulfilment, the fellowship sorcerer Asandir finds that the power to subdue the Mistwraith is split between 2 princes, half-brothers, strangers to each other. Opposites by outlook and upbringing. Only by working together can they restore Ethera's lost sunlight. They are old enemies, heirs to a blood feud generations old. Now I have just seen, as well as being a relatively lengthy synopsis, it's actually continued on the back flap as well. So I will leave it there with the beginning of an odyssey in the spirit of which no single character will remain unchanged. So yeah, once more, so many good things I've heard about this well, the series as a whole, the Wars of Light and Shadow, but also the rest of Janny Wirtz's work. I've literally read 1 book which she co-wrote, and other than that, this is going to be my first taste of her solo writing. So really looking forward to it, hoping that I'm going to enjoy it, and we will find out pretty soon, I guess. So there's my plan for June anyway. Hopefully I'm going to finally find that 5-star read, but as I say, there is no pressure for this. It will come when it comes. It will be down to reading the right book, potentially just the right book at the right time, and yeah, let's see if this is going to be the month for that to happen. Let me know down below what you're looking forward to reading in June as well, and what do you think I'm going to find from the books that I've picked for myself. I'll hopefully see you in the next video sometime soon. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves, read some good books. Bye for now.